Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy TeflonJohn. Just trying to get my light right. Trying to get my light right. Yeah, like I said, it's your boy TeflonJohn. You know, coming to you today. I was at work earlier and I did a post called "You Don't Have to Respond." What's up, Angelina? Yeah, it was called "You Don't Have to Respond," and I just want to kind of go into more detail now that I have more time, because I feel like this is I think it's a very sensitive but very important topic for most people. I feel like that, when it comes to responding, I think it's a form of control some people have. I'm just going to invite some people to the broadcast real quick. Hey, so look, today was Monday. How was your Monday? Leave it in the comments section. Let me know how your Monday was. Was it great? Was it challenging? You know what I'm saying? Was there any positive news that you can post down there? Did you accomplish anything today on Monday? Did you have a great weekend and then, Monday came around and it was like, kind of pulling you in? But let me know. What's up, Sandra? Yeah, let me know. So right now, like I said, just go ahead and share this broadcast. If you can just hit the share button, give me some hearts, some smiley faces or whatnot. Just go ahead and do that, and we can try and get this broadcast to many people, people that need it. So tonight, I'm just talking about, you know what I mean? You don't have to respond, and this is part 2, because like I said earlier, I was at work on break, and I didn't have much time to really be with you all and give you all some insight. So look, I just want to let you know that when dealing with a situation, sometimes when you're dealing with different people, whether it be family, friends, employees, whether it be your employer, co-workers, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, your spouse, whatever. Sometimes you have to use strategy. You got to be strategic of when to talk and when to actually listen. You know what I mean? So when it comes to doing this or whatever, sometimes people would love to do things to get a response out of you. Sometimes people will say things to try to bait you in conversation. And most of the time they're trying to bait you in conversation because they want that connection to you. Sometimes when you're in a relationship and you finally break up with that person, sometimes they'll call you or try to spark arguments because now there was an element in your relationship. So now they want that relationship type feeling, even if it's arguing, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's that dysfunctional behavior, you know what I mean? But when it comes down to it, the reason why I did that video is because I feel like there's so many people in life that are put in a hard spot by their families or by their friends. And what's happening is they're seeing posts on Facebook, they're hearing somebody through third party information. Somebody's been talking about them or somebody's saying whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think what's happening is it's triggering pride. It's triggering you know what I'm saying? Do I hold my own? Do I feed into it? You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's very hard sometimes to keep our mouth shut, because I think we live in a society now where it's cool to respond. You got to hold your own. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect your name, put respect on my name or whatever. And I think that sometimes sometimes the best response is no response. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to birthday parties when I was little, and I hated clowns, dancing around me. I just hated clowns dancing and, all in my face. And what I realized is once you treated the clown like he didn't exist, the clown went elsewhere. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to do people like that. Sometimes they can say something that's really pushing your buttons. Sometimes they can say stuff that's really ticking you off, man. But you got to learn how to sometimes treat people like they don't exist. Like what they're saying, like it doesn't exist. And most of the times, when you're dealing with things, right, you're burning yourself out by trying to respond to everybody. Well, I got to check this person, I got to check that person, so-and-so been talking about me. And by the time you get to your real assignment of the day, you're burnt out. You know what I'm saying? So let me give you an example. So let's say the Golden State Warriors, right, they're the NBA Finals champions. So they're the champion, you know what I'm saying, the top team in the NBA right now. So let's say on the way to a game, they stop to get something to eat. And in the restaurant, there's some guys that play ball, just, play ball at the park. They're talking trash to them, right? They're like, yo, y'all sorry, man. Y'all ain't nothing, man. We'll beat y'all, man. We'll run the floor with y'all, yada, yada, yada. So let's say the Golden State Warriors eat and then they drive down to the park and play these guys in a hard game, you know what I'm saying, 20, 30-minute game. And then they leave there after beating those guys, and by the time they get to the actual game, they lose because they're tired. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is sometimes in life, man, you got to really watch where you're putting your energy at, because some people are just distractions on your way to greatness or on your way to achieving goals. Some people are just distractions. You know what I mean? The moment when you make up in your mind you want to be a better person. What's up, Victoria Watts? What's up, Barry? BJ, what's up, man? The moment that you say, look, I want to be a better person, the moment that you say, you know what I'm saying, I want to go after my career, stuff is going to happen, right? And the number one thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to be distracted by what people say. So this is my thing, yo. Like, the minute you start going out there being a public figure, the minute you're an entrepreneur or, you know, whatever, the minute you start making money, people have their right to their opinion. You know what I mean? Let them have their opinion. That's something I had to learn, because I was ready to check people. If I heard John this, John that, I was ready to check them. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we waste energy on that, because by the time you go check them, they're going to say, I didn't say it. So-and-so said it. Then it's going to send you to another person. Then they're going to send you to another person. And then you're becoming the star of your own reality TV show. That's why people love hip-hop. Some people love, you know, we sit back and we watch the drama, and it's good. I mean, it's entertaining, but you don't want to be someone else's entertainment. So that's why I said everything and everyone does not deserve a response. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan in his prime was one of the best players until LeBron James, comes into the conversation where now you have a comparison. But Michael Jordan was the best player. A lot of people hated Michael Jordan, talked about Michael Jordan, said Michael Jordan wasn't this and wasn't that. You didn't see Michael Jordan go to the court or the local gym and play everybody one-on-one to prove he was the best. No, because Mike knew who he was. Mike had self-awareness. You see what I'm saying? So part of the problem why you're feeding into other people's opinions about you is because you don't know how talented you are. You don't know who you are. What's up, James? Holla at me, man. You know what I'm saying? You do not know who you are. So the fact that somebody's opinion about you, you know what I'm saying? Like your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever, can think you're the finest thing on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Well, you look better than ice cream on a 100-degree day. But yet, this one person is saying this and that about you makes you question that. Part of the problem is you have to really know, you know what I'm saying, who you are and your worth. You got to know your value. You got to know your value. You know what I mean? You have to know your value. You know what I mean? I remember when Redbox first came out, and I seen like it was like 70 cents a day or 90 cents a day. I remember renting the movie and could barely find it the next day. Why? Because I didn't value it, because I didn't pay much for it. Now, had I bought that same Blu-ray disc for $30, I would have kept it. You know what I mean? So imagine this. If you're the king, right? Imagine any type of majesty. The king does not get off his throne to deal with peasants. He's not going to get off the throne, take off his crown. Yeah, I'm going to go down here and tighten him up. No, because he's got people for that. You see what I'm saying? So know your role. So many times as you get elevated in life, right? And if you look at a pyramid, it's skinny at the top. So that means the view is better from the ground up. Don't climb all the way up there. Don't take, you know what I'm saying, it took you 10 years to get there. Now you're going to take 5 minutes to come all the way down to the mountain and scrap and scruffle and trade words with people that don't understand your goal and vision anyway. You feel me? I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's your brothers, your sister. I don't care who it is. Like, you don't owe it to anyone to lower your standard. You don't owe it to anyone to sit back and argue and prove to them why you do what you do, because most of them already know what you do. And see, and then what they're going to do is they're going to use people. They're going to use different tactics to try to get at you. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel like, I guess because the relationship or because the climate of the situation, now you have to respond. Yo, I gotta call them. Yo, I gotta hit them up. Or I gotta put a reply to that post on Facebook. No, you don't. Let it sit. People are going to have their opinion about you regardless. Like I said, Michael Jordan, one of the best players, and people hated Jordan. So no matter if Jordan scored 50, whether Jordan scored 5 points, 1 point, or 100 points, people still going to love him and hate him. You're going to say some saying he was the best, some saying he was the worst. You see what I'm saying? I don't care if you come out here and like, it's people that run races in the Olympics that come in first place. People will critique that. People are finicky, man. So if you're trying to please people by trying to respond and check everything, or so and so talking about me, let them talk. Because I'm telling you, it takes more effort to be the big person, to be the silent person. Let them talk. As long as you know in your heart and God knows what's going on, don't worry about it. Let them talk, because I'm telling you, no matter what you do in life, people are going to talk anyway. You know what I'm saying? People are going to talk anyway. So it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to motivate you guys, because I feel like there's a lot of people that are going through a lot mentally, because they feel like, and they're kind of wearing themselves down because if someone is saying that, someone is saying that. And then it's like you're taking time away from what you've been doing. You're taking time away from work, from your family, from going after your goals. And now you're going after attacking people that are not going to tell you what they said anyway. They're going to say so-and-so said it. So-and-so put me up to it. This is what I heard. Look, man, at this point in my life, 34 years old, I don't care who talks about me. You know what I'm saying? Really. Because at this point, I'm a grown man. I'm going to do me. And regardless if I was doing good or bad, I'm still going to get talked about. So, like I said, the whole purpose of this video is to tell you everything does not deserve a response. I don't care if you look at, if you look at your Facebook wall and somebody's blowing it up with bad comments, hide the comments, delete the person, and keep it moving. Why would you argue with that? You know what I'm saying? I think Jay-Z said, from afar, if two ignorant people are going at each other from a distance, it's hard to tell who is who. Like, who's the ignorant one, and who's the the mindful one. You know what I'm saying? Or who's the adult. So sometimes you got to separate yourself from the situation. Now, some people may say, they may say in your family, old boy think he too good for us now. Old girl thinks she too good to come around us now. No, I'm not better than y'all. I'm just better than that. I'm better than the mess that you continue to do. And one thing about messy people, right? And I don't know if you ever had, little kids, you know what I'm saying? And when kids are little and they playing around and they putting their hands in food and all that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they come in your house and they mess stuff up. They touch your mirrors and they smear stuff. Messy people will mess up your house if you allow it. And I literally mean your house. I'm talking about your mental house. You know what I'm saying? Your emotional house, meaning your heart. You know what I'm saying? Your spiritual house. Don't allow messy people to come around. I don't care if they're family, man. At this point, you know what I'm saying? The Bible says save oneself. You got to save yourself. You know what I mean? Because you don't owe it to people, man, to be around people that's going to drain you of your energy. You don't owe it to people, man. Like, you don't owe it to anyone. You know what I'm saying? To be entangled and crazy, dysfunctional, manipulative relationships. You know what I'm saying? You are better than that. And I'm telling you, you are better than that. You know what I mean? And so let them talk. Let them say that, old boy or old girl's too good to come around us anymore. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta separate yourself until you can become strong enough to deal with the people. You know what I'm saying? And so what I learned to do is I lower all expectation of people, man. You know what I'm saying? I just expect people to be human beings and do what human beings do. You know what I'm saying? So when it go down, my feelings are guarded. And what I do is I try to separate myself from the person before what's left of our relationship is further damaged, until we can come together as adults and talk that thing out. You know what I mean? Because we live in a social media age now to where you can get on social media and be scrolling and see someone post something. And especially if it's family or friends and it's like an inside thing, they're talking about you. My thing is, let them talk. While they're talking and commenting, is keeping them off of the streets or doing something dumb. Evidently, you're doing something right, and they're just trying to drain you out your emotion. But don't fall for the bait. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to catch mice, a lot of times you use cheese, raw bacon. This is stuff that that you read and they tell you, glue traps. So be careful of what you put out there, because people have a certain type of bait for you. It may be certain things that I'll fall victim to that you might not fall victim to. You know what I'm saying? So, because you got to look at it, man. People love drama. People love confusion. And at this point in your life, for everybody growing, we get older by the day. You know what I'm saying? So we should be getting better by the day. We should be learning more information. You know what I'm saying? You know, like we should be putting ourselves in a better position financially. We should be setting up our futures. But instead, we sit back and wonder who's doing what. You know what I'm saying? Who's doing who? You know what I'm saying? Who's where at? You know what I mean? And worried about whose house so-and-so just came from. Worry about your family, man. Worry about your kids. Start it, you know what I'm saying? Start in your house. You know what I'm saying? Start in your house. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing if you're not going to be focused on yourself. And most of these people, man, like that are talking about you, most of these people that are trying to slander your name and make you look bad, take a step back and really ask yourself a question. What are they doing with their life that's so great? So you leave the comments. I'm a time to watch. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what are they doing with their life that's so great? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see like a business tycoon arguing with the guy that's bagging groceries at Kroger's. I don't see it. Like, he's not going to indulge in a conversation because it's a waste of his time. You know what I mean? Like, Floyd Mayweather is not going to fight the dude that lives next door that's saying that he's not the best fighter. It's certain things that you just don't do. Certain things you don't entertain. It's certain things that you really don't feed into. You know what I mean? So the only thing that you can do is try to be a good person. You know what I mean? Like, know yourself. And when I say everything doesn't deserve a response, and people don't understand you, and not everybody's the same mentally, it doesn't give people an excuse to wild out and be themselves. If you know you're wrong, say you're wrong and approach somebody. Hey, look, man, I was wrong. I was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? And get that baggage off you. Because so many times in life, we like to do some underhanded stuff, and we like to try to justify it. You know what I mean? But as adults, we just add baggage to our life, and it's a baggage of self-guilt. You know what I'm saying? And we carry that, and it weighs us down. So sometimes you got to be the bigger person, man, and just holler somebody one-on-one, swallow that pride. You know what I'm saying? Swallow the pride and approach people and say, look, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? And once you do that, you've done your part. It's up to them to forgive you for whatever happened. You know what I mean? And just give it time. You know, any seed planted takes time to grow. I think a bamboo stick takes 5 years to grow in the ground before it even breaks surface. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just trying to build better people. You know, I am TeflonJohn brand, man. You know, we just trying to build better people, man. We just trying to build healthy minds. We trying to build healthy relationships. But I feel like there's so many people, man, that spend their entire day worried about what people are saying about them and scrolling Facebook until they see something crazy. And I know it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to be the type of person that would try to bait, not really bait people, but I would go in and bite the bait because I knew what they were trying to say. One thing I hate when people talk about me like in the third person or something, and they're mentioning he, and I know what they're referring to. Hey, but if they're not man or woman enough to come and check you or say your name or whatever, tag you in the post, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the puppet like Pinocchio. A lot of times when these people sit back and they call each other, it's like, yo, I'm gonna put this post up, or I'm gonna do this childish mess to get at so and so. It's like them put you on strings and they're controlling you for the puppet show. And meanwhile, while you flipping out and getting out of character, everybody else watching with the popcorn, just like it's VH1. Instead of loving hip hop, it might be loving Whitney Jones. You know, you might be loving Victoria Watts. In Victoria, I think that could be a good show for you. Loving Victoria Watts. Got to get with it. Got to go with it. But for real though, man, like so many people, it's really different levels to this thing, man. People that get you going, they sit back, eat popcorn while you wilding out and going off, and now you look a fool, man. You got to realize, like, your word, character, you know what I'm saying? This is stuff that people will hold you to. Your word and your character. Like, if I don't know you, I can only judge you by the situation and interaction that we have while I'm meeting you. You know what I'm saying? So if you come off to be a wild person in this 30 seconds that I'm exposed to you, that's how I'm going to label you, a wild person. You got to think about that. You don't know what job you're going to end up applying for. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who knows who. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very careful and protect your character, man. But look, don't compromise your character for anyone. You know what I mean? But like I said, the hardest thing to do, and I see Aaron on here, you know what I'm saying? I see my brother James Copeland, and, you know, all these guys go to the gym. Sometimes the hardest thing to do, you know what I'm saying, is lift heavy weight. You know what I mean? Lift heavy weight. You know, they call it a max. And the more that you increase that 1 rep max, the more weight you should be able to do, you know what I'm saying, with high reps. But what happens is in life, we don't practice repping out being silent. Now, I'm going to let that sit on you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? The same way when you go to the gym every week and you add 2.5 to 5 pounds to the bar to increase your overall strength and power. You know what I'm saying? The same way we should be practicing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And not really feeding into it. And the more you practice that, the stronger you'll get with it. You feel me? The more you practice that, the stronger you will get with it. And let me tell you, if someone yelled in my direction, "Hey Bob, hey Steve, hey Alonzo," I'm not going to answer because my name is not Bob, Steve, or Alonzo, right? So if you wouldn't answer to someone not calling you a different name, why are you answering to these bait topics, these bait posts that they're putting on Facebook? Why are you answering and responding to family members taking jabs at you? Because if you know that's not you, then why answer? You feel me? Victoria Watts' name is Victoria Watts. If I looked at Victoria and said Laney, she probably look left and right, drop that chin and say, "Oh, who are you talking about?" You know what I mean? But you have to learn, man, like, in order to control anything else, in order to control anyone else, you know what I'm saying, as far as your kids, as far as if you're in a position of leadership, how can you be over someone and you can't control yourself? I'm pretty sure the shepherd that's responsible for the sheep has some type of self-control and self-discipline. And I'm telling you, the hardest thing is, man, like, I was just in there watching, I was in there talking to my wife. She's watching Love and Hip Hop. And it's like, within 8 minutes, you know what I'm saying, somebody's going to argue. Somebody's going to go off. Somebody says something, and it triggers. It's almost like witchcraft. It's almost like, yo, watch this. Yo, I'm going to get old, you know, I'm going to get old boy, you know, old girl stared up. I'm going to say whatever, then I'm going to run behind this kitty guard, and now we scratching and clawing. Now, who looked foolish, man? Probably the person that responded. You know what I mean? And that's something that we learn in life at an early age. When you're in school, normally whoever hits second, whoever responds, that's the person who always gets in trouble. And there's more, I think it's more responsibility with that second person or the person that knew better because they hold you to a higher standard. I remember my first fight I got into on a bus. And I remember, you know, old boy started it and hit me first, and, you know, and then we handled it. But they were more disappointed in me because they said, yo, you knew better. You was the bigger person. You should have been able to walk away. You know what I mean? And I remember watching Spider-Man 1. One of my favorite movies, Spider-Man 1. Sam Raimi's joint. Not the Amazing Spider-Man, but the one with Tobey Maguire. And I remember before his uncle died, they were talking in the car. He said, you know, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? And you got to think about that. With great power comes great responsibility. A lot of us are powerful in our own rights, whether it be influence, whether it be financially, you know what I'm saying, whether it be just a figure in your family, right? So that power comes great responsibility. You can't carry yourself like everyone else. And like I said, of course, they're going to say the same thing, that you think you're better than them. You think you're better than us. And the answer should just be, no, I'm not better than y'all. I'm just better than that you're trying to take me through. And so right now, I must remove myself from the situation and savor the relationship that we have left. Feel free to comment. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing Aaron and everybody comment. Yeah, feel free to comment. But that's pretty much all I have. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to go in deeper, but I was at work on my lunch break. You know what I'm saying? It was Greek yogurt time. You know, I love Greek yogurt about 10 a.m. in the morning. But yeah, you know what I mean? I'm on Instagram TV. I'm on, I think it's IGTV, the app, as I am TeflonJohn, you know what I'm saying? So you can follow me there. There's going to be different videos there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just Monday, motivational Monday, just trying to provoke thought. I just want you to think. So when you get off this phone, you know what I'm saying, and you're not really watching Facebook anymore, I want you to think about everything that I said and just try to let those seeds soak in. You know what I'm saying? Let them really soak in. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys for, like, taking the time out to rock with me on this Monday night. I appreciate, you know, y'all taking time out your busy lives, because like I said, money, if you waste money, have a bad investment. You know, you can work some extra hours overtime and get that back. But I feel like time, you will never see another Monday, June 25th, 2018 at 8 o'clock. And I appreciate all you guys that are on here following me, spending that time with me. Like I said, just try to share the information, try to get it out to other people that may need to hear this, and just, you know, try to find somebody. So your homework is to inspire 3 people, motivate 3 people, encourage 3 people. Just inspire 3 people, motivate 3 people, and encourage 3 people. Let me tell you the reason why I do that, right? Currently in 2018 in the United States of America, and this is a whole separate video that I'll do later, for every 100,000 people, I think they said 18 people will kill themselves, will commit suicide, right? So that means every 40 seconds, someone's committing suicide. Every 40 seconds, man, due to depression and some other stuff. They say by year 2020 or 2021, that's going to increase to every 20 seconds somebody's going to kill themselves. And I feel like that if we having conversation, if we see someone and we can just use kind words, inspire 3 people, motivate 3 people, compliment 3 people. You never know that one word of inspiration, that one compliment, or that one word of motivation could save a life. So that's what I want you to do, you know what I mean? Inspire 3 people, motivate 3 people, you know what I'm saying? Compliment 3 people, and help save a life by using your tongue. You know what I'm saying? There's life and death in this thing. You know, I could be on here talking negativity, going off on rants, but I'm not going to do that. I choose to challenge the environment. I choose not to make my environment challenging. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want my environment to be a product of me instead of me being a product of my environment. You know what I mean? So I'm going to end that video with that. But like I said, just to sum it up, not everything, not everyone deserves a response. Choose your words wisely. Exercise the power of silence, and sit back and let them do them. And look, let them talk freely about you. Let them have their opinion. As long as they're not going to put their hands on you, everything should be good. And before you know it, you'll mature through this thing, and they'll find someone else to talk about. Sad but true. And as I always say, one love, but it's your choice to be blessed.